and introduce the games that you've been working on.
Um, Hi everyone. My name is Boden. I'm a game developer on the game called Shop Crash. I'm a professional game designer, but this is my sort of indie gig, and I'm really happy to do this game. And the Shop Crash game, it's a game about managing a shop, essentially. So you manage your shop. You have customers, they come and go. You have to account for their preferences, and you have to sell them good stuff, essentially.
That's awesome. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this interview. All right. So we
Thank
do
you.
have a couple questions that the audience has asked about the game. So let's go over the questions that the audience has asked. All right. So first of
Okay.
all, aside from the introduction, please do feel free to go over the genre of games that are you working on or have worked on in the past. This is actually requested from an audience member about the games that you worked on. So please do feel free to go over the genre of games that you are working on and have worked on in the past.
Yeah, so I mostly like indie games. I like to play indie games. I like to make indie games. But in my professional career, I've been doing various genres. So for me, it all started with FPS, and then it went to more of the strategy game genre. So I've been doing strategy games. I've been also doing, as I said, a lot of FPS games and a lot of. I tried VR very early on as well. So, and yeah, I've been also doing mobile games. So, for example, you can visit my portfolio at hololimp.com and you can see like all of the games that I did. And mostly for the mobile games, I've been doing, mid-core slash hardcore games. And yeah, whenever I have free time, I just love to do indie games and I love to play indie games.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So please feel free to go over some of the games that you worked on aside from Shop Crush.
Yeah, with pleasure. So I would say one of the most famous games that I've been working with is Warface. Warface, it's a MMO FPS game that is set in the like dystopian future kind of thing, and it's very famous. It's been developed by Crytek, and now it's been developed by another developer. But the game is really good. Really recommend it. And I've been also working on the game that is called Highway Getaway, which is a like an arcade, sort of like a racing game. And I also recommend you to check We Are the Dwarves, which is a real time tactics game set in the Stone universe. Very authentic universe. It's about three dwarves traveling in like deep underground, but underground they have like very different civilizations and they explore them, and like the story is very interesting. And I would also say, please do check the game called Deployment. It is a multiplayer top-down shooter game, which has mechanics like map control to it. So it's kind of like skill-based, but it's also strategy at the same time. Very interesting concept. I would really like you to see it.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for talking about the games. So, aside
Thank
from
you.
the games that you have been talking about, please feel free to talk about the companies of the games that you worked on prior to developing Shop Crush.
Yeah, so I've been working with, as I said, Crytek. It's a very famous developer. I really like most of their games. It was my dream to work in Crytek, and also I've been working with Vivid Games. It's a very famous Polish game developer and publisher. Um, they have very known established franchises like Real Boxing, for example, and yeah, also indie teams, for example, Railroad Games. I recommend their games. They're very creative and very fantastic.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. The next
Thank you.
question also comes from a viewer that says, "What separates you from other game developers?" Which means passion, skill, customer focus, etc.
Oh, that's very interesting question. So I would say for the game Shop Crash, if you look at the game trailer, you could see that the game has also additional mechanic to it that is about literal illusions. So the player uh, must not only control the shop, sell the stuff, talk with customers, but the game is actually a psychological horror, so to say. So you kind of see those illusions while you play. You could see it in the trailer. So the literal illusion is essentially an image where you can. It's kind of like painted as one thing, but if you look closer, it's another thing, and I'm just really fascinated by this concept, and I really wanted to do a game about it. And I would say this game, it's like a simulation game, but it's also a visual novel, and it's also like a light horror, like a psychological horror. It has very captivating story. I would say, like, for me professionally, ability to like feel the concept and to like really dive deep into it and make it authentic is probably the strongest side of me. I really want to know if people like the narrative of the game and if they just like the concept.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you
There's
for this
also
wonderful question.
there's also another game that you worked on as well. Could you please talk about the social media game that you also worked on that is available on itch.io?
Yeah, absolutely. So the game is called Cringer. It's a game that I've been working on as a part of the game jam. So there is a company called Global Game Jam, and it does the game jams worldwide. And essentially, like everybody can join, and they have like maybe every couple of months they have those game jams on various topics. And like one of the topics that I really found very interesting to explore is misinformation and disinformation. I think it's very important topic of today's world, and the topic of this game jam was essentially misinformation. So we made a game about it. It's a game where it's called Cringer. It's like a wordplay. So it's like imaginary social media where you kind of genre wise, I would say it's a doom scrolling simulator. So you kind of have like a social media, fictional social media. You can browse it, and there's like a bunch of um, like shady characters writing to it. Like so, you have like flat earthers. You have like maybe some um, like people spreading false theories or maybe manipulators there, and you kind of play as a disinformation bot. So your goal is to share as much of the misinformation as possible because otherwise they would reset you. So it's like a survival game, but it's also very funny and like ironic, I would say. I think it's important to do such games because it allows the players to better understand the tactics that has been used by bad actors on the internet and like to not fall to it too easy. So once the player understands, what's how does the exposure work, they could, for example, know better how to protect themselves. So that's why, like in this kind of like reversed mode, like ironic game, we made it for the players to try.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for introducing the game. All right, so the next one also comes from another viewer that says, "What ideas or features do you see as good games versus bad games?"
Um, Nice question. I really like to think about it. I would say for me, the nice game is cohesive. So, cohesive means every component of the game, the sound, the audio, the story, and the art, they all go hand in hand to create a sort of like unique experience that is, let's say, only available via this game. So I really like, for example, my one of the greatest games that I really like is Kentucky Road Zero. It's very, it's very atmospheric. It's a game that's been developed in series, so it has like 5 episodes. And me, like as an origin player, I've been playing this game from 2014, and like I've been waiting for the episode 5 for 2 years. Like no joke. I mean, I've been thinking about this game because it's so captivating. And also, the good example is the game called Oxenfree. Again, it has like this huge atmosphere, and the characters, they feel alive, and just very interesting to engage with. Like from the AAA side, I also like the games like Metro series, for example. I like Stalker, I like Cyberpunk, Witcher, and so on. And Essentially, bad game. Maybe this question is even harder to answer. To me, there is there, or maybe there wasn't so much of the bad games. I think every game has something beautiful in it, but maybe like if the game is done like, you know lamefully, like without any effort, and maybe like if it's an asset flip and it's doesn't have any, maybe if it's like an asset flip clone done lamefully without any creativity, it's still not a bad game to me, but it's certainly the game that I would not look at at all. I would just probably, it would probably not be even shown at the feed. Um, but yeah, I think if I had an opportunity, I would play all of the games. It's just that there's so many, and I have to pick.
All right, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. So, what are some of your favorite games of all time that you really enjoy playing?
I would say Cyberpunk. The game just struck me when I was playing it, like back in 2021, like mid pandemic. It was such a surreal experience, because it's kind of like very interestingly built. So I play as a protagonist, as V, but also there is like a very powerful side characters to the game. So I'm more involved into the Johnny stories in the middle of the game, than like kind of like myself. I don't know. It was to me. It was. Mine thing, but I really like to see how the characters evolve in this game. And I also really like the game series called Deus Ex. It's also kind of like a cyberpunk sci-fi game, but it's also really interesting. And I would say, um, to add up to it, I really like Doki Doki Literature Club. It's very interesting visual novel that's like, it has this very steady build up, and it builds up gradually, and then there goes like the horror.
Awesome, thank you so much. So, what is the elements that you like about each game? So, like Doki Doki Literature Club or Cyberpunk, what do you like about the game? For example, the story, the character development, etc.
Well, I would say this, for Cyberpunk. I really like in the narrative, it's called the conflict. So I really like the way the conflict evolves in the Cyberpunk. It touches so many themes that are very relevant to our times, like the problems of consciousness, the way, like how a body works. Do you have to like install all of these updates into the body, or also about the society as well. It's very interesting to see, the dystopian future. Essentially, it's kind of like the same way I like Deus Ex, but it has very great build up system. So you have very great abilities there. You essentially, like in Deus Ex, you play as a protagonist that is like, he is almost fully metal. So you can upgrade the protagonist whatever you like, and it has like so much great variety of abilities that you can just um, it would be very interesting to replay it and replay it again. Um, and For the Doki Doki Literature Club, the main thing that I like in this game is suspense. So suspense, it's like a feeling of anticipating something and like here it comes, here it comes, here it will happen. Let's just see, and then it happens, but only slightly. And then the game kind of builds it up again and suggests the suspense again, and it's like so gradual that I can fully immerse into this game. It's so captivating.
I see. Thank you so much. I actually, speaking of Doki Doki Literature Club, I actually have played it. It's a very enjoyable visual novel game. I
Yes.
really enjoyed it. All right. The
Me
next
too.
question also comes from another viewer that says, "What engine is the game using, and how can you justify the use of that specific engine?"
Um, Great question. So I've worked with various engines. I worked with Unity, I worked with Unreal, and I worked with Unreal of different versions. Uh, I even I don't know, like very early. And I've been also working with CryEngine and a bunch of other proprietary engines as well. I would say different game requires different game engine. Um, it's something good can be said for all of them. For example, Unreal Engine has, to my understanding, it has fantastic material system, the shader system, their work. It's very flexible and it allows to create like the PBR lighting and the scenes that work real time. Fantastic. My game is 2D, so I don't work with shaders. I work with graphics. But Unreal is so flexible that it allows, us to, me and my team, allows us to essentially make a 2D game on a like AAA 3D engine, and it's still, um, efficient. It doesn't. It just knows it will pack resources right, and um, it will not be so demanding in terms of hardware. Unreal is very um, not very not demanding to PC specs, if you will, in my experience. So yeah, it allows to create games of different complexity and it's very flexible. So we choose Unreal because of that. But I've been also working with Unity and CryEngine, and those engines are also fantastic. Unity is probably even more flexible in a way because it has the built-in scripting solution. I'm not a scripting like programming language C sharp. I'm not a programmer myself. I do all of the stuff in blueprints, so I mostly do visual programming. But to me, it's enough to my needs. I certainly dream of like hiring a developer that can do the C++ stuff, but like there's this thing. Unity is C sharp. Developers tell me that C sharp is easier to learn. C++ is much more complex. It has to deal with all of those abstractions inside of the engine. So I would say Unity has its own like niche and it's very very popular. And CryEngine, in my experience, it has like one of the best tools working with terrain and open worlds. It has a lot of tools for that. Really great vegetation system and fantastic engine. It's just that for me, Unreal has like the best sort of like everything fits to it kind of solution, and it's also think about platforms. It's also available for many platforms. You can build uh, console games on Unreal. You can build mobile games on Unreal. To a certain extent you could build even web games on Unreal, in certain versions in the past. So it's kind of like really flexible, and um, I just started working on it early on. So I still love Epic Games and Unreal Engine.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for explaining about the game engines that you worked on. Have you ever worked with visual novel software like Ren'Py, for example, which uses Python?
Yeah, I want to try that. I have not yet. My friend has been working on it. I think he's building like an RPG um, in one of those engines. I think he uses like RPG Creator or something, but I'm not sure. I have to verify. I really want to try that, and I will do it in the future. But like right now, it's more like Unreal Engine.
All right. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so next one. For the game Shop Crush that you are working on, I also got another viewer question, which basically says, what is the game about? Could you please explain what Shop Crush is about, how the gameplay works,
Yes.
etc.?
So gameplay wise, Shop Crash is a core gameplay wise. It's a simulation game about running a shop. So it kind of looks like if you know the game called Reigns, it is inspired by Reigns. In Reigns, you had three variables. You've been playing as a king or like a queen, or in many other games you play other characters, but essentially you play as a king and you have yes or no decisions essentially, and every decision affects the stat, like faith, for example. Do people have faith in you as a ruler? Do people have um, do you have good relationships your um, with your people, for example, or do you have good relationships with other players, like elites and and so on. And I kind of wanted to um, go a little bit another way, but inspired by this topic. So shop crash is, you also have yes or no decisions. You have buyers that come into your shop and they want to buy certain things, but the game has, I would say, kind of like a different take to it. So they suggest they want to buy certain stuff, but the stuff they want to buy, it can be either um, it could be good for you to sell, it could be profitable, it could be very unprofitable, it could be bad. They could want something like some stuff that you don't want to sell, like for example maybe some counterfeit items or whatever. And they also want to buy something like real good. Maybe they want to buy like for example motivational books or something. And you just have to, when you run the shop, every time you press yes or no, a new customer would come and they would just say, I want to buy this. And you have to evaluate, do you want to sell those items or not? Um, Based on their, like, you can base it on economy. Do you want it to be profitable? Or you can base it on essentially reputation. So, if to win in Shop Crush, in the core gameplay, you have to be profitable. So you have to be sure that the shop runs profitable every day, unless you won't be able to pay the rent. But contrary to that, the choice may be, if you want to be profitable, maybe you might have to go to compromise with your consciousness. So maybe you have to start selling bad stuff, or maybe you have to sell stuff to wrong people, for example. So not only the items differ in the game, the customers differ in the game. So there are customers, let's say, who are really rich, for example, and they want to sell, or they want to buy something that is exotic and it's expensive, and you can kind of like want to trade with them. But the opposite, but the counter strategy to it would be these customers really impact the shop reputation, because they're like, they have bad reputation, maybe they're just hyping, maybe they're just doing something. We have around like 10 character types in the game right now, characters, but maybe like we would develop even more. And they have all different shopping patterns, so they shop differently. Somebody comes really often and buys something very exotic. Somebody comes really, um, really like every day, but they buy something They want to buy something expensive, but they just don't have money. And there's the catch. You not only have to balance the profitability and reputation. If your reputation goes down to zero, you're like, it's a game over for the shop. If your profitability, I mean, it might not run to zero, but if you not make enough, the shop would also be closed. And also, I would say there's like in the core gameplay at the moment, there's like a hard limit on turns. So Shop Crush is a turn-based game where you have, I don't remember, but something like 20 turns or maybe like 10 or 15. I have to see, but your turns are limited. So it's not like you will be like, oh, I'm just scroll. I don't want this. I don't want that. No, you have only 10 turns to get profitable. So every turn gets more tense in the core gameplay because you like, okay, I don't want to sell to this person, but next, if I don't want to sell, next sell must be more likely to occur because otherwise, the chances of lost increase. But that's like the core gameplay level. On the meta gameplay level, the Shop Crush is a game about essentially exploring the topics of illusions. As I said, it's a game about literal illusions. So once you play the game, you unlock the literal illusions. You have to like see them, and this mechanic is still in the making. But essentially, you like at one time you, let's say you completed some, the game goes linear in a way, so you progress from one stage to another, because it's important for the narrative. But basically, once you get reach to the certain stage in the game, you get this like a puzzle where you have something unclear and you have to flip it, you have to rotate it, you have to zoom it in or out, just in order to understand what's the image. And if you see the image, you kind of like progress in the story more. And the story essentially is all about illusions and like the double meaning of things. I would say I don't want to, spoil it too much, but I think you will be surprised by playing the game.
All right, that is awesome. Thank you so much. So, can you please explain how you came up with the theme of the thrift shop?
It was, let's say, many iterations. So I started. I do a lot of prototypes. I really like to do them. So I it's I that this is how I organize myself. So whenever I'm like having some creative moment, I prefer to write it down somewhere and just, keep it in my memory just to make my brain work more on something else. I don't want to keep stuff in my head. So basically, it was one of those days. I was just maybe like walking in the park or something, and I was like, oh, it would be interesting to make a game where you kind of have to bargain with customers. As I forget to say, you can bargain with them. You can, assign your price and they accept it or not. So it could be cool to create a game where you bargain with the customers. And essentially, the way how you, it's a game about people. The way you, let's say, negotiate with them impacts the way the sale goes. Just like in sales, for example, they got me interested, and I tried this game in various skins. I call it skins. So basically, it was not a shopkeeper simulation game at first. It was, I believe, it was like a market simulator or something. I just was looking for a way to present this mechanic the best, because mechanic essentially is just an interaction in a way. Yeah, it has layers to it, but I think in terms of interactions and if they give me fun or not. So the ability to guess if it will work and to combine different products in one offer was great, but I was looking for a way to present it better for the player. So I was like, At first, I was thinking, will it be clear enough for the players? Like, do they understand the concept of the shop where you can negotiate the price? And I was looking at it, like, do we have shops like this? Because, in my place, at least, most of the shops are fixed price and you can only like negotiate price like on the markets. But it's been kind of like a very popular concept where you can negotiate prices. And then I realized you can not only negotiate prices, you can also negotiate emotions in a way. So you can negotiate the reputation of the shop. Therefore, I came up with the characters, and the characters they started to complement the mechanic. So I quickly created a character who is like rich and has like wants to buy a lot of stuff, but they do not give me a lot of reputation. Sometimes they do, but not all the time. And I quickly created like the binaries. They work very well. And then I started to think about like the deeper characters. Like, will there be a character that, let's say, checks if the player has a good amount of resources in the stock? And then I was thinking like, what could the character be? And you can see that character in the game. For example, when you play it, you'll notice, and that's how all the characters came in. And once I had the characters, I started to think about the story. Like, what's the story that makes all of those characters, um, cooperate with each other? Like, if they're so different, there must be something that unites them, and what unites them really is your shop. And also I forgot to mention in this game in Shop Crush, you can essentially change the skin of every character to whatever you like. So every character could be like a male character, it could be female character, it could be alien character. I added this in a way I wanted players to better, like target their preference on characters. I want players to see characters the way they think they look best. And it can be switched real time. You can switch them their skin real time, and I would say like not many, but some of the mechanics are, for example, the scenes mechanic, the illusions mechanic. It is connected to the whatever skin of the character you have. So yeah, and I was thinking like, how do I combine it all together? And then I figured out that the shop that the player works in kind of fits the best, and I just wanted to create the story that complements all of that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for explaining about the game's mechanics. Thank you so much. So, a
Thank you.
question that I basically do have to ask you is, once your game comes out, can content creators make content of your game? Meaning, can they stream your game? Can they make videos about your game? Once the game comes out, can content creators make content of your game? Meaning, can they live stream? Can they make videos on the game, let's plays, etc.?
Absolutely. Yes, they can, and they do not need to ask permission. And I think I noted that on the Steam page as well. But yeah, absolutely. I would really like to see your reaction videos, your gameplay footage, your comments, reviews, anything. It's very interesting to me. So I would really like to see all of the activity and engagement.
All right. Thank you so much. So I do have some questions to ask about the game Shop Crush. So, what is the timeline of the game's development, and when do you expect the game to be available on Steam? At the very
Yeah.
moment.
So as I said, the game is like it's been done more like a diary to me. So I kind of like whenever I had free time, mostly on weekends, mostly on holidays or something, and I wanted to feel inspired as well while creating it. I did it. So that's why I'm so careful with the timings. I do not really do like uh bold claims like we're gonna have this or we're gonna have that, because I don't want to like move the release date or anything. I'm doing it at my own pace. I would say still, the game is now at the state of like early alpha, and I would be running the demo really soon. It's It's more like a technical thing to finish it. The content is ready, and I'll be also doing the new game trailer very soon. It would be around maybe like next week, or maybe next week, in 2 weeks. So to me, the most important thing is quality and the inspiration. I really want to feel good about making this game and make players feel good. So I don't chase the metrics, or like the hype curve or whatever. I just want a nice content to be it, and I want to feel confident about it. So I really hope that end of this year the game would be in early access, but it kind of depends on some of the technical factors that I need to sort. So let's just the closest anchor would be trailer, and I hope it would be out in 2 weeks. And the next anchor would be the public demo, which uh, as I said, I have some technical stuff to sort before I would release it. But I really hope for the game demo to be available in summer or maybe fall.
All right, thank you so much. So another question that I do want to ask you is, how do you manage to stay motivated while developing the game Shop Crush? So how do you manage to stay motivated while developing the game?
Yeah, well, it kind of reveals from my previous reply. I try to stay um, inspired doing it. So every time I feel that I'm out of creative energy, or I just because like it's not linear process making a game, and sometimes I make some mechanics or some decisions, assets, whatever, and sometimes I do not feel good about them. And whenever I feel not good about them, I just give it a time. I just wait. Maybe maybe it's my perception. Maybe it's uh, maybe the time would fix it. Maybe I would look at it with a fresh view, and I would have some more insights. But that's just one thing. I just really try to keep it as a rewarding experience for developing it at the first time, at the first place. And I really think that that's the way to do games, especially like indie games, because like you gotta love what you do, and if you love it, it goes much smoother. And that's why I try, of course, but mostly I do not really do like extensive like market research or like anything of that. I do not say like, oh, I'm browsing the Steam database. I find this niche and I see that we have 20% underrepresentation of certain genre, so I'm gonna do this game. Although it's effective, um, to me it's still I want to bring joy to the players and interest. So for me, it was like natural that I started to do this thing. Um, but yeah, sometimes I course correct as well. Sometimes I see the market research and I try to understand how the mechanics of the game works, how the Steam works, for example, and so on. And maybe the second way is what is really useful is um, like at the same time I try to set like goals for myself, not like milestones. It's not like this must be ready by X, but I have list of like goals that I have in the game. So I list them out like uh, I want this character to be integrated in the game, or I want that mechanic to be integrated in the game, and I steadily go towards this goal. And whenever I have something that is worth checking, I usually show it to like a friend, or maybe like do like a closed playtest, or take the game to event. So I'm going to event real soon, and I'll probably test the game on the event live, and it's like a huge boost options for me. Whenever I see some interest and like new players play, I just take like a I don't know, like a notepad or something, and I just write it down, everything that I see players do, and it gives me a fresh perspective and therefore a new motivation.
All right, that is awesome. Thank you so much. May I ask what event are you planning on making an appearance at to test out Stop Crush, if I may?
Yes. Yes, the event is called Games Gathering Lviv. It would be in Ukraine, in Lviv. I mean, it's I have to warn you, it's still kind of dangerous to travel Ukraine, but yeah, we do have local events, and they go all around the country. And yeah, I'll just go there and I would see what players say about the game. I'm really excited about it.
All right. Well, I wish you all the best with your event. Thank you. Thank you so much. Another question that I want
Thank
to
you.
ask you is what got you interested in game development? So, how did you become a game developer?
Oh, okay. So there's a caveat. I never had like a full-time job or anything other than games. I wanted to work in games from like, I don't know, fifth grade essentially. So I really, it was my uh child dream. I really wanted to do games for living. And I just, I had a situation where I had a goal, but I don't know how to reach it. I am at first it was like, mm, you know early 2000s or something. It looked to me as games are very hard media and the medium, and it's very hard to get to them. But then we got these new amazing tools, and we got these new amazing communities, um, that really helped me to understand how to become game developer essentially. Um, so I'd say passion plus game dev communities. Right now, Reddit is for example, very helpful in that regard. Before that, it was forums. Um, and technically, how I get there, I made a game that was I made an indie game, and one of the studios in Kiev, they just got really interested, like how I was able to make it in the late 2000s, and they just invited me to an interview. I wanted to be a designer there, but I didn't even make it to design. I started working in QA, and I slowly progressed. So I got this classical way from QA to game design. Initially I become game designer, and then I started to only work on design, but I still do indie games and I still like games.
All right, that is awesome. Thank you so much for explaining about what got you interested in game development and your background in game development. So, a question that I want to ask you is for aspiring game developers, what advice do you have for aspiring game developers, those that want to go into the game development category or game design? What advice do you have?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. So I would say the main key right now is activity. So in our times, there is much more activities that you can explore versus it was like 10 years ago or like 15 years ago. So right now we have gaming conventions. We have Twitch, we have YouTube, we have traditional press, we have a lot of engines that are available, and we have, as I said, a lot of game jams and social media as well. They kind of add to it. So I would say there is no straight way to like become the game developer, but there's some actions that distinguish people who do and people who don't. And I think the key here is activity. I also forgot to mention there are right now there are a lot of, like, game design, for example. It's becoming a formal discipline in the universities, so you can study game design. You can go to like the games academy, for example, and it really does great. So one path would be go to the games academy or similar discipline, get your grade in game design, game development, sound design, and then like find an internship. There's like uh, a lot of career websites like LinkedIn, for example, where you can find those internship opportunities. And what will uh, differentiate you within the competition is that you have activity, right? 'Cause if you took activity in the game jam, or you have like a game that has like a website and it has like a trailer and maybe like a demo. It's much more valuable uh, if you just have like a formal certificate or something. So, as I said, no straight path, but I think activity is like the multiplicator that is applied to all of it. Um, and I really wish all of you like, and I really want all of you to succeed. Games are fantastic media. They work really well, and it's just a very rewarding experience to be in.
All right, thank you so much for the advice. All right, so I do have another question. So, how did you come up with the things related to the games that you developed? So, you said that in the past, in addition to also developing Shop Crush, you also developed other mobile games as well. So, how did you come up with all of the themes that you developed for all the games?
The themes, right?
How did you come up with the themes that you developed? So, like for example, Shop Crush is about a thrift store, the social media game,
Oh,
for example, etc. So, how do you come up with all of the themes that you develop whenever you develop these games?
I think every person is talented and everybody has their own like unique style. It comes from the the aesthetic preferences everybody has. I'll give you a more specific example. So whenever I was doing even like levels in other games, um, my friend would come up to me like and said, "Oh, this level is it is such your style." Like, and I was like, "I don't understand. What do you mean my style? I don't have any style." But he was like, "No, it's your style." And he showed me like, you have this twists, you have this specific layout design, and he was not a game developer. He just noticed this, and I was thinking like I didn't put effort into like making it my style, but I was just trying to explore what's interesting to me. And now I'm like in the time when I try to process what it means, like what I like interesting about it, what people like interesting about it. But essentially, as I said, I do not do this pragmatically. I do not do this like data driven way. Although I embrace this way of doing things, and I think it really works. It's just that this is not how I do it for the indie games. I think it comes from the place of authenticity. It's something that you have to feel inside yourself, and maybe you like I think the best way to describe it would be like imagine experience that you like, that you really want to repeat in your life, and maybe the experience that you want to share with people. So I really want to share experience of like making this like market strategies and like trading with people and negotiating, and also exploring the unknown, right? So that's why I came up with this idea. But maybe somebody likes, I don't know, they remember an experience when they were riding a bus, right? And on the bus they were, I don't know, listening to people, and they've been I don't know, maybe like imagining some stories in the game. Or like for example, I really liked in Assassin's Creed game, there was a mechanic in the first game where you have to before you go to your target, you had to do like a little investigation. So there, like, you had to sit on the bench and listen to what people say. You have to observe the location, for example, with the bird's eye view. You had to explore all of the possible paths, and like that's the way I really think the game like design and creativity approach you should take. You should explore what you like in a way like why do you like it and what do you want to share from this experience. That's like in short, but there's also other ways you can read important people in the games industry and kind of like understand where the trend goes. You can watch the YouTubers, and they also form like a trend, what's happening in the industry. And also one of the, I think, important aspects is but it's more like a technical thing. You have to play other games. You have to play other games, and you have to understand, especially like in your niche, or maybe some games that are worth checking. So what makes them unique? What makes people like them? What is the aspect of the game that has been uh, captivating to the to the players, and what is like not really? What where can you do better? um, and essentially, like, if if we amp up this thing, I would say, once you have this high level thinking, if you have an opportunity, try thinking about it. How do you test it? So maybe you make a prototype and you see how it performs, or maybe you shot a TikTok video with three of the game concept and see which one does best. So it's like exploring yourself, but also exploring the market.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for explaining about your game and the scenes that you come up with. So I did hear that you have a company called BS1. Could you please explain about what the company is about? Please explain about the
Yeah,
company BS1.
yeah, it's a I would say it's not like a company, it's a team. So we are a team of essentially friends, and we make these games together. So it was different in various times, but right now the team is me as a game designer and development. We have an artist, and she is painting amazingly well all of the in-game graphics, except for the illusions, because they got me helped with Think Diffusion app. But yeah, we have an artist that is painting every other game assets, manually, and she does amazing job. We also have a like a developer, but he's more like consulting us and helping us with like various like platform specific stuff, and maybe some integrations if they're needed. And our team, it like grows and shrinks like normal team, and sometimes we cooperate it with more people, sometimes we cooperate with like less people. It depends on the stage of development that we're in. Right now, I would say still it's two people, but we also have like a developer like consulting us, helping us, and we have a sound designer that is working with us. But like not like full time, but he's helping us with the sound design, and he does such a wonderful job. He helps us with the sound design. He helps us with the music, and even like with the composition and stuff, like on trailers, on anything. It's really really great to have industry help. And I would say like my wish is whenever I want to expand the team, and like I pay them, so it's not like we're not working on enthusiasm. If there is a work that needs to be done, I want it to be rewarded accordingly. And I just want people to do their best when they're doing their tasks as well. So I would say the last thing, whenever I want something to like be added into the game, uh, maybe we would have I look at somebody at LinkedIn, or maybe somebody I know, and I try to like suggest like what do you think? What if we work together? And almost oftentimes it depends on their schedule as well. And but if it happens, it's magical. Uh, Sorry, one last thing, and I also want to credit other artists that helped us painting the game. So I've been also working with various freelancers, artists for the game, and they've been also very amazing. Thank you guys, you've been really great.
All right. Thank you so much for explaining. So, what goals does your team have for the future? So, your team is called BS1. So, what goals does your team have for the future? Like any goals that you guys have?
Um, yes, we do. I think the most important goal at the moment is to finish the development of Shop Crash, and to release as I said, release the trailer, then release the demo, then release the early access build. Then we really want to get most of the players' feedback and understand like what works, what not, to improve the creative direction on the game. And then took some time to make production essentially. So I would really like um, to polish the game more. So we would really like to make the animations better, the effects for the game, add more sounds, and so on. Right now, we're only focused on this game. We want to finish it. We want it to work great. Hopefully, in the future, we would really like the game to be available on more platforms. Uh, we're not working on it right now, but as soon as we would have the Steam and Epic version, we would work on the. I would really like to work on the another platforms as well for the game.
All right. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you. So, another
Thank you.
question that I do have, I want to ask is please feel free to demonstrate the game to the Cookie Nation buddy. So, if you have like a sneak peek video or a demo, please do feel free to demonstrate what's it like to the Cookie Nation bunnies. So, my fan base is called the Cookie Nation bunnies. So, please do feel
Oh,
free to
okay.
demonstrate it.
Yes, I would be really happy to do it. Just give me a sec. Okay, friends. So this is the game. As I said, the game is called Shop Crash. I'm showing you the Steam page. So the game is right now it's available on Steam. You can go out and if you like the game, you can follow it and wishlist. It would really help the game development and the game performance. It would make us more motivated. But let's see the page. So I'm just briefly gonna show you the Steam page, and then we're gonna see the current trailer that's been available right now. So as I said, it's a shop sim. It has character skins, as I said. So the character could be alien, it could be female, it could be male. And the core gameplay is essentially you go to the shop, the customer comes to you. It's designed like a card game, essentially. So the customer comes to you and they want to buy something and they want to offer something to you. You have right now you have 4 turns left in order to get 1500 of the game currency. And like, let's say if you say yes, which is to the right, it would give you it would give you more money, right? It's shown here. But if it's dangerous, it would give you more reputation damage. So this red bar, it's a reputation damage. And if it goes, it's also duplicated here as this nice speech bubble. But if it goes too much, if it goes full, you're gonna lose. If you not become rich by 4 turns, you lose, and that's the challenge of it, right? But if you click on each item, you can read the item description, and you could kind of guess what person would buy which item. And I also wrote down the prices of the items, so you could kind of do like a small little math calculation if you want to know like if it's profitable. So I actually had doubts about it. Like, do we really want players to learn math in the game? But it's actually kind of fun if you want to, to try to estimate what the cost is and is it profitable or not. Clearly, it's not. But you can also say negotiate, and if you negotiate, it can, the character could give you different price. So they can give you higher price. They can also give you lower price. But every time you negotiate with them, the bar goes to the right. It goes higher. So be careful with that. Um, but yeah, that's how you progress in the game. Also, the game has different game modes. So it has the endless game mode. You can kind of play high score. So there would be the high score would be how much more money you get. The game also has the side missions, which is essentially where you can get additional um, money to buy the groceries that is needed for your shop. And let's go to, yeah, the game has story, which progresses as you move towards uh, like every chapter level. And let's talk about the illusions. So every time you get a critical milestone, maybe like every 5 levels or every 10, I have to look up. But basically, there is like a, I'm still thinking about it, but there is probably, I'm sorry, that every character would be like a mini boss. So essentially, when you had one character coming and then goes another one on every 10th level, I think it's not final yet. I have to decide, but you would be playing them as bosses. And as soon as if you sell items to the character and they woke up satisfied, you get this mechanic of illusions. So they give you illusion, and inside of this illusion, you would be able. This is me showing the final result here, but basically you would start like very zoomed in into certain area, and it would be like rotated and maybe like some kind of like randomly transformed, and you have to use controls like move camera. You could use rotation, you could use zoom in and zoom out just in order to see this image. So like I'm just showing the final state, but yeah, you could see the image, and the image itself, it is a hint to the story. So basically, that's how you move the story into the game. And let's just show a couple of other screens. So that's how you manage your stock. Right now we're going with this amount of items, but I really want more in the future. They're like they're like good items, they're like weird items, as I said. So there might be something like expired yogurt, for example. It's a bad item, but if you sell it, you would be profitable, right? Because what are you gonna do with expired products? So there's like items like imitation jewelry, for example, and stuff like that. So if you sell it, you're gonna be rich, but maybe it's a bad way. But you're really gonna lose reputation for the store. There's also very high profile items like luxury jewelry, for example, elite jewelry, which costs a lot and is bought by um, buyers who really like those stuff. Also, there's like another example of this image of the illusion. So you start with like zoomed in into like some of the image, and it would be like maybe rotated, and you just have to like look, you have to rotate it, spin it, view it until you see the image. There is also another catch into these images, but I would reveal itself closer to when the game is launched. But there would be additional depth to them, but I'll probably reveal it once the game is launched. And yeah, so basically, um, we also have the game description, which just reinforces what I said. And if you want to, you can follow up the game on all of the social media that we have. And yeah, let me just quickly see. Okay, so you can see we have 10 customers at the moment, and they're all different. Right now, they're all in the same skin, but as I said, you can change it. And every customer has their own preferences and their own buying behavior. So you can read their information about them, and you can read to kind of like learn the way they act, right? So, for example, Lizzie, which is a client that we saw, but we changed the skin, likes to buy fun stuff, and they like to buy um, for example, expensive stuff, but really cheap. We also have stats of the character, something like average check and how much reputation do they get on average. And you can also upgrade them. So you can improve their stats. It's like an element of the long term progression. And yeah, basically, I have a description on every character and every skin that they have. So you could pick up your favorite character. This is all of them. And yeah, the video has already started. So let's view the game trailer if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do feel free to play the game trailer.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing the trailer. That was impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, that
Thank you
was
so much.
the tiny horror part, as you could see. I really wanted to imitate this Doki Doki effect.
Yeah, you did a good job on the trailer. Your team did a really good job. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The new trailer is coming really soon, and I hope it would be even better.
We're excited to see it. We're very excited to see your trailer for Shop Crush. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right, so we do have a couple more questions for you. So, how can people support you and your game development activity? So, how can people support your team and support you as a game developer?
Great question. I would say the best thing right now is your activity. So whenever you share the game with a friend, maybe mention it somewhere where people find it interesting. Maybe just reach out to me and say your impressions about the game and what do you like about the concept. Also, following the game on Steam or Epic is very helpful to us because it helps the algorithm promote game between the game selection. Also, like wishlisting the game is very helpful both on Steam and on Epic. If you do it, please, it really helps the game algorithm to pick the game and show it to the relevant audience. So we really like it. But yeah, just maybe like a comment on Twitter, mention the game, I mean on X, and also Blue Sky and other social media. Um, I would say, yeah, as I said, activity is the best thing. I really like to see if people are excited and if they want to share this passion as much as I do want to share it with them.
Thank you so much. We are very, very excited for the game's release. Very exciting. I look forward
Thank you.
to I look forward to creating content with the game once it comes out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can do content, as I said, freely. I really like it. I always did it for all of the games that I did, so it's very welcome.
All right. So I have a couple more questions. So once the game comes out, do you plan to team up with content creators to promote the game via giveaways or as ambassadors? Because I've seen some games that also have like ambassadors where they do giveaways. So do you plan to do the same with Shop Crush as well?
Yes, I'm considering this. I'm just thinking about the form. So it would probably be just a straight away getaway where I could just give away the keys. There would not be any sort of like lotteries or something. I do not really think it's relevant. So I just want like giveaways and like regular promotions. Um, but like I'm not expert in this, and I'm just so the short answer would be yes, there would be giveaways. I would really like the fans to see the game, and I would reach out to anyone whenever it's possible. I'm just making a note that I'm not really like super into it yet, and I have to see how it works. But yeah, it would definitely be.
All right. Can I actually suggest as a VTuber something when it does come to
Yes.
promoting the game? So I actually feel like that if you have like several different VTubers that are like promoting or content creators that are like ambassadors of your game or want to like promote your game, you could also like partner up with several different content creators to promote your game, for example. So if you want to do a forum where you can have VTubers and content creators like promote your game, for example, like on social media, and that you could have them be ambassadors for the game. That would definitely be something that I can suggest as a content creator. I have seen game developers like team up with content creators to really make the game all happen. So that would definitely be something that I would definitely suggest as a VTuber. Have seen developers team up with content creators as sponsors via Google Forms. You could also do it. There's also websites like Lurkit, for example, where you could also have them participate in like programs, for example, when it does come to game development. So you definitely take a look into like Lurkit, for example.
Okay. Yeah, I would really like to do it. I really like the content creators and I really like the VTubers and the YouTubers and the streamers. I really like the activity and I'm really appreciative for you to taking your time to look at our game. So I'd really want to do this and I will do this. I'll probably reach out to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely love to promote the game in any way. Definitely would be down and interested in promoting your game and being an ambassador.
Yeah, that sounds really great.
All right, so a question that I do have, a couple more questions. Will the game have in-app purchases, or will the game be a free game, or will it be a paid game once it comes out?
It would be a premium game, so it would be paid game. It would not have in-app purchases, um, and it would not be free. I think maybe it will in very distant future. I don't know, but for the current moment, it would be premium game, one time only purchase. You buy the game, you complete the content, and we really want to make updates for the game and like to make maybe extensions for the game to make it bigger, make it better. But we don't see the game as like a free to play or maybe like in-app purchases. No, we want like a premium game.
I say thank you so much. Also, I want to also suggest something. Maybe perhaps you could also have like content creators as characters in your game in the future. Would you be interested
Oh,
in that
yeah,
idea?
that would be amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would definitely be awesome.
Let me write this idea until I forgot. It's
No, it's all
really
good. It's all good.
great. I mean, that's what I call the inspiration moments.
I'm definitely like that as well when it comes to my content creation activities, especially because I've
Yeah,
been a VTuber since 2020. So I've been streaming. This year is my fifth anniversary, so I'm definitely like
yeah,
that too. Yeah.
yeah. That's really cool. Very wonderful idea, and I haven't thought about it. So thank you.
Of course, of course. All right. So, a question that I also do have, I have two more questions. So, if the game is successful, will we see the game ported to other consoles such as the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation? So, do you have any plans to port this game to other consoles or
Yes,
even
I really
mobile?
want to do this. So I have experience porting games to consoles, so technically I know how to do this. And um, the game already has like gamepad support. I don't know if it would be in the demo, but yeah, it does works. And I really want to see the game on PlayStation, on Nintendo Switch, on Xbox, and maybe like premium mobile stores, like maybe like Epic Games Mobile. I would have to see maybe Apple Arcade. Mm, it's not like determined yet, but I'm really hoping if the game is successful to get it going forward to other platforms. I'm really looking at Good Old Games, for example, as well, and yeah, the game would also be available on itch.io. It also has the page, and we really want to have the game featured on most other platforms as well because they're really valuable for the players and for the developers.
All right. Also, do you plan to have any physical copies? Because I've seen like many physical games also have like special editions, like they come with like extra, like for example, a pin or like a soundtrack DVD. Do you plan to sell like any physical copies, like at game stores, for example, in the future?
I'm definitely thinking about it. I need to find like a vendor that does it and the service that it's I need to understand how it works and what we can offer. But yeah, I would really like to have like a deluxe version of the game with like something physical, the physical copy of the game, maybe some merchandise. That would be wonderful. So, but it's like still in the making. Um, don't know when we will launch it, but I would really like to have it.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. And another question that I also want to ask you is, do you plan to add Shop Crush and the games you developed as a portfolio? So, for example, if any company, for example, in the future would want to come up to you and say, "Hey, I want to show you the games that I developed." Do you plan to add like Shop Crush to your portfolio? So, if for example someone wants to work with you as a game developer, do you plan to add that to your guys' portfolio?
It's already added.
Alrighty. That's awesome. Alright, so do you guys have any other questions or any questions that you want to ask a game developer before we do conclude our interview with HoloLim for today?
thank you guys for your activity. It's been so amazing to be here, and I really hope you like the game.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to interview you, and thank you so much for joining in the Cookie Nation Buddies today. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Please do look forward to the game's development when it releases.
Yes, please follow the game, follow the cookie, and I really like your show, and I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And by the way, is it okay if we also put your social media so that people can check out your profiles and all of the stuff that you worked on?
Absolutely.
All right. So I will put your Twitter and I'm gonna put your Blue Sky as well. And then I think that is gonna be pretty much it from here on out. If you guys have any additional questions or anything you guys want to ask, please don't hesitate to ask HoloLimb on Twitter as well as on Blue Sky. Thank you so much, HoloLimb, for joining
Thank
me
you.
today, and thank you so much for
Thank you so
joining in with
much.
Cookie Nation buddies. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for joining in with Cookie Nation today. We really appreciate it. We look
Thank
forward
you, Cookie
to
Nation.
supporting
Thank
you.
you, viewers.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Let me give you a shout out real quick for Blue Sky, and then we're going to conclude it for today. Alrighty.
Yeah,
And also another thing I also want to ask you too when it comes to Shop Crush as well is what kind of things do you love about Shop Crush that you're excited to work on before we do conclude it for today?
I like the way that I think this game is deep. It's deep, maybe like not in the content way. It doesn't have like that much content, but it has layers to the story, and it has layers to like every mechanic that we put into the game. It has like the images with the illusions are they're like they're multi-layered, and they're very interesting. They were very interesting to create, and they were very interesting to work on, and as well as the story. So like, and I really hope to reinforce this aspect in all of the game parts. So I really want the story to be like multi-layered, and the story is multi-layered, and I really want like even the music to be multi-layered. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, the thing that I like the most is like the depth of the game. I really like this, and I really hope this would be reinforced via the game design.
All right, that is awesome. Well, thank you so much again for really taking time out of your day to interview us. We wish you all the best of luck, and we look forward to promoting your game once the game comes out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, do you have anything that you want to say to Cookie Nation buddies before we do conclude for today?
Yes, Cookie Nation buddies, you're the best. I really like you, and keep watching the show, keep engaging. Thank you so much for hosting me. Thank you for your wonderful questions. They've been very interesting to ask and to think about, and you're awesome.
Thank you. And do you have anything that you want to ask me or anything you want to tell me before we do conclude for today?
um, I would say maybe one last question. What do you like the most about today's interview, and what do you think is why do you think it was very cool?
Oh, perfect question. So I think the one thing that I really like about doing the Shiba Code episode, it was definitely learning about a game developer and how a game is made. For example, it was really interesting learning about like the different backgrounds of a game developer, what a game is like, how a game is developed from start to finish. So it's definitely a very interesting topic to learn about the game's development and what's it like creating a game developer, learning about game development. So it's definitely a very educational podcast as well, so that people who want to become game developers or who want to learn more about all the different careers with gaming and content creation, it's very interesting to learn.
Yeah, true.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much, HoloLimp. We really appreciate you guys, and thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Thank you,
Yes. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
thank you. We really appreciate it. All right, guys. Thank you guys all so much for coming to today's Streamer Code episode. This Streamer Code episode does conclude here. Please do feel free to support HoloLib, especially on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you guys all so much, and we hope that you guys all have a wonderful day. I do need to link your YouTube page before we do get ready to conclude our Shiba Code episode for today. So if you guys would like to
Yes.
check out
Have a
the channel.
wonderful day, guys.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, with that being said, Holim, thank you so much for coming. We really do appreciate it. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time chatting with Cookie
You too.
Nation buddies. Thank you, thank you. You take
Okay.
care.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm gonna drop. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Uh,
you.
bye.
Lots of cookie. Bye bye. All right, and that is it for today's SuperCode episode. Thank you guys all so much for coming. So we're gonna be releasing the schedule on Monday. But until then, thank you guys all so much for coming to today's SuperCode episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Please go check out HoloLib. Thank you guys all so much for enjoying the stream. We really do appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. All right, so in the meantime, we're going to be getting ready to raid. All right, we're gonna raid. Let's see who we're gonna raid today. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna get ready to raid. Let's see. Who are we gonna raid? All right, we're gonna raid Spicy Spy. All right. Thank you guys all so much. We really, really do appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much. We really, really do appreciate everybody. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream, and I hope you guys all learned something today when it does come to the episode of Shiba Code. Actually, let's see. All right. All right, with that being said, everybody, this concludes Season 3, Episode 1 of Streamer Code. Thank you guys all so much for coming. Please do check out HoloLib. And with that being said, the schedule will be released on Monday on Blue Sky and Twitter. If you guys would like to check out my Twitter page as well as my Blue Sky, where I'll be releasing my schedule, please do feel free to go check out my Blue Sky and my Twitter page. We're going to be posting it over here. And the schedule will be released soon, so please do stay tuned. Alright, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for coming. I hope to see you guys all tomorrow on YouTube. So, just before we do head on out, tomorrow we're going to be having a stream on YouTube. We're going to be doing an endurance stream on YouTube. So, thank you guys all so much. We are almost at 600 Cookie Nation buddies on YouTube. So, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. Alrighty. So, my next stream is tomorrow, and it's going to be on YouTube. So please make sure you guys do check out my YouTube channel. So tomorrow's stream is also going to be the last stream of March. Also, just as a friendly reminder that if you guys also want to give gifted subs, the gifted subs last day is also tomorrow. So we do have 30% off of gifted subs if you guys all want to give your guys gifted subs as well. All right, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for coming. We're going to be getting ready to raid Otsu Cookie, and I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. Hello, Ken. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we just had our podcast episode with HoloLib. Thank you so much. And no worries. We're just going over tomorrow's stream. We're actually going over the next stream before we get ready to raid. So you guys are just in time. We're getting ready to raid. But we're going to be going over the next stream, which is going to be on YouTube tomorrow. In the meantime, if you guys do want to go to the waiting room, which is located right over here, I'm going to post it up in the chat. We're going to have an endurance stream tomorrow with Tetrio. Our goal tomorrow is to reach 600 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you guys all so much. Thank you. Please do feel free to go check out my YouTube right over here. Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's interview stream. I really did enjoy today's interview stream. So thank you guys all so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. So I hope you guys all enjoyed today's interview stream. Thank you guys all so much for coming. With that being said, this concludes today's stream of Streamer Code. Thank you guys all so much. All right. So in the meantime, we're gonna be getting ready to raid. So thank you guys all so so much. I really appreciate it. All right. I hope you guys all did enjoy today's stream. Thanks for the stream there, Cookie, of course. And thank you so much for the shout out. No worries. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you so much. I'm really, really happy that you guys enjoyed today's stream. Please do check out HoloLens in the meantime. Please do check out HoloLens. Please check out the games. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream. Thank you, everyone. Hope you guys all did enjoy today's stream. All right, we are going to be getting ready to raid. Thank you guys all so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream. In the meantime, I have my raid message, so we're going to make the raid message announcement. All right. So, just stay tuned. Wait, hold on. All right, that is actually the shout-out command. I am so sorry. Okay. Raid time. All right, guys. Thank you guys all so much. We really do appreciate it. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream. All right. Yes, raid time. Raid time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. All right. So, in the meantime, we're getting ready to raid. Thank you, everybody. See you next time, Cookie. Yeah, see you on YouTube. See you guys tomorrow on YouTube. I'll be on YouTube tomorrow. So, we'll be doing an endurance stream tomorrow. So, thank you guys all so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you guys all so much for your guys' support. I really, really appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. All right. So, we're getting ready to raid. Thank you guys all so much. Austin Cookie, I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you. But in the meantime, we're gonna raid Spicy Spy, who is currently doing an emergency donathon. So please go check them out, guys. Thank you guys all so much, everybody. Austin Cookie, thank you for being here, Cookie, of course. And in the meantime, yes, before we do go on with the raid, I also do gotta put my Discord server link. So if you guys also want to join up my Discord server to be updated of when I go live next, I'll be going live tomorrow on YouTube. Please do feel free to join up my Discord server. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate it. All right, everyone. Oatsu Cookie, I hope to see you guys all tomorrow on YouTube.